video evidence, and why does the department not have body cameras?
Okay, there is no video evidence. We do not have body cameras. There's no private video either. As far as body cameras in the Town of Hamburg Police Department, we have secured a grant for them. The town board allocated money in our 2024 budget for body cameras.
As we continue to learn more about the officer-involved shooting in Hamburg last Friday, one key factor came out yesterday at the press conference where you just heard the chief speaking there. The Hamburg Police Department does not yet have body cameras.
To talk more about this, right now we are joined by Jeff Ronaldo, partner at Vista Security Group. Jeff, thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
So let's just start this off. Generally speaking, walk us through the process of obtaining body cameras.
Sure. So it is a very involved process for a police department. You have to, number one, determine the technology and the vendor you want to use, and there's a lot of companies out there. Number two, you have to look at the costs, different costs of the technology, but the most expensive part of the program is the storage of the video. Number three, you have to look at your existing collective bargaining agreement. You have to work out a policy that will be in compliance with your union rules and regulations. And then number four, you have to develop a camera policy as to when the cameras will be used, when they won't be used, who has access to the footage, how it's going to be stored. You have to look at how many extra bodies you're going to have to hire to produce the video footage for court, for FOIL requests, for civil litigation. And then you have to also look at the expense associated with how do we manage this data into the long-term future, because what's currently recorded today might be needed 15 or 20 years from now. So what is the media that the video footage is going to be on, and how does that get updated?
And of course, Jeff, you know this process intricately because you were among the leaders to do this very thing, to walk folks through this with Buffalo Police as a former captain there. What was that process like for Buffalo? Because I feel like that was a process that may have been even starting before I arrived here 10 years ago. It seems like this is not a decision that's made in even a single year. This is a years-long process.
Yes, I was tasked back in, I believe it was 2015, to look at the potential of bringing body cameras in the Buffalo Police Department. And it wasn't until, I believe it was almost 2019 that we actually deployed them. It required a ton of research, a ton of meetings, but you also want to be sure that the program that you're going to get into fits your department.
Looking at video evidence, how does that affect an investigation when there is none?
Video footage, and when I say the video, I also mean the audio, because a lot of times in a close encounter, there will not be video. It's going to be blocked by clothing or other things, but the audio might help. It is definitely beneficial to help give a sense of the overall incident, but is by no means the only piece of evidence. What people have to understand is it doesn't really matter what you are seeing on the video when it comes to a use of force investigation. It comes down to what the officer perceived at the time he or she used some level of force as to why they did so.
So let's talk about that, because a lot of people are saying, okay, according to Hamburg police, the woman, they say, was cutting herself with a knife that she was holding. She apparently dropped the knife. They got her out of the bathroom, then this struggle ensues. And these are all a matter of seconds. Even though we're explaining it, it may sound like minutes. These are seconds that are happening. And she picks up an object and starts swinging it. That justification right there seems to be able to include what immediately preceded that action, right? So investigators should be able to take that into consideration. Should they? Is that typically a protocol there?
Yes, 100%. I mean, she was previously armed with a weapon. My understanding is this happened in a bathroom. It was very confined quarters, most bathrooms are. So it depends on what the officer who used the force perceived, what he may have seen in her hand, what he thought was in her hand, the action she was taking with it. All those factors will come into play, because the officer is not just defending himself at that point, he's defending the other officers there, and whether or not they would have the ability to quickly retreat away from this threat that's presenting itself. And I can tell you, as our training has taught us, that somebody armed with an edge weapon is very, very lethal. It's called the 21-foot rule, and people want to debate whether or not it's 21 feet, but I will tell you within 3 feet, you can kill somebody with a knife very quickly.
And let's go over that training again. That is really important because we've talked about this in the past. How come an officer has to take a shot if someone is armed with a knife? Well, someone just armed with a knife, 21 feet is what the training is. Anyone within that circumference, they could be lethal to that officer, right?
Absolutely. If the officer's weapon is holstered, the amount of time it takes for them to perceive the threat, make a decision of the appropriate force, draw a weapon from a holster, aim that weapon, and take an actual shot, the person, if they have the weapon in their hand within 21 feet, most likely can close that gap and attack the officer before they could defend themselves.
Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have. Jeff Ronaldo, security expert and partner at Vista Security Group. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right.